In this resource, we're going to use some unofficial holidays data to create a website database outcome. During this process, you'll see me update my planning log, which I use to keep on track. In the practice task, you might want to note the date and where you get to in a given video. When you do an assessment, you'll want to note down what you need to do or what you've done so that we can see that you've used a process of iterative development to create your outcome. One requirement for the assessment is that you write down the purpose of your outcome and you identify potential users. This is what I have. Please pause this video and take a moment to read it. Confession time. I use ChatGPT to help me write my purpose and audience descriptions. When you go ahead and use ChatGPT, the expectation is that you'll have a slide similar to what you see on the screen, where you screenshot both your prompt and at least part of ChatGPT's answer. You're also expected to take ChatGPT's answer and reword it, use it, change it so that it actually does what you need. A reminder that you may well need to argue with ChatGPT, as often its first response is not particularly useful. Another deal breaker in the assessment is that you need to write specifications. Specifications are things that can be measured. Think of it as a to-do list that describes what your outcome will include. Take a moment to read through the specifications and think how you could use them and potentially recycle some of the content in an assessment situation. My next step was to do some planning, and in my world that means writing a series of lists. I've got the broad things that I need to do. I've said what sections each page is going to have. I've listed the searches that I need to create, and I have a list of things that I must have and also things that would be nice to have. I'll be adding to this planning as I go, and I'll also be color coding things that are done, pending, or absolutely do not forget in the near future. Once I have my overall plan, I used an online tool to create a wireframe, and this particular online tool did generate some of the code that we'll be using a little bit later on. I also used Draw.io to create a more intricate wireframe that is a bit more useful than what we saw previously, and in the process of setting up my planning, I realized that my search area could be improved, and that's the refined area. In an assessment, you would want to take before and after screenshots showing how you have refined your outcome to make it more fit for purpose. If you're doing some refining in the practice that you think can be recycled in the assessment, take those before and after screenshots and put them straight into your assessment work and just write notes as to what it is and what you did. In the next video, we're going to go ahead and set up our first page.